What's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new Poker Life podcast. My name is Joe Ingram, aka Chicago Joey. It's been a busy week. It's been a busy last couple weeks. We've done a lot of great podcasts. Today, I think, could be, with the exception of the young Russian PLO player that we had on a couple days ago, I think this one will be, it'll be a treat for you guys. We have my friend, I'm going to call you my friend, Luke. We got my friend Luke, aka badbeatslayer, in the house today. Luke's been wanting to come on, and I'm excited to have him on today. What's happening out there, Poppy?
Oh, not much. Just doing my thing. I've been watching a few of your podcasts just to catch up, and you're more than just a beautiful man. You're actually quite good at what you do.
Well, hey, that means a lot coming from you, Poppy. Thank you very much. I know there are going to be some new people out there who've never watched a podcast before that might be tuned in to watch you. So if you are new, welcome to the podcast, and I hope you guys enjoy. And all right, Luke, so let's first explain who you are to people out there who don't know much about you. From what I know about you, you played tournaments, allegedly had a Lamborghini from poker, and you're a fucking psychotic person. Can you fill in the blanks there?
Well, yeah, for a while I was a grinder on Stars, poker tournaments, from age 21 to Black Friday. I used to, really crush it in multis back when they were really easy. A lot of people would say but I don't really fuck with tournaments as much anymore. I'm more into living life than sitting in front of my computer screen nonstop. Plus, yeah, I don't know. I did win a Lamborghini. That's not alleged.
Okay.
I got 3 Lamborghinis, actually.
You have 3 Lamborghinis.
I have 3. 3 total.
You've had 3, or you have 3 currently?
Well, a couple of them were repossessed by the American government to, pay my tax bills. But, I got 1 still,
All right. So Luke, I actually talking to someone. I told him they're going to have you on, and he said that the most psychotic person he knows said you're the most insane person that he knew. So would you say that's true? Would you say that you think you're pretty crazy?
I guess you could say I'm crazy, but, being on, number of drugs and enjoying your life, if that's crazy, well, fucking call me Stealth Monk, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like Stealth if, he was sexy and swaggy and, did his thing the right way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if I'd say I'm psychotic, but definitely not normal. And I would never want to be, you know what I mean?
I agree, man. I think last time I saw you in person, we were out in Vegas at a nice charity event. Shout out to the charity event. Shout out to Mastow's charity event that he put on. It was a well-run presentation that I don't know where the fuck all that. I must have 85% of the money must have went to charity, because I feel like no money actually went to the final table in that thing. But I saw you there, and you were having some fun there. How do you recall this time?
Oh, I recall. It was a great time. There was a lot of I just remember drinking a lot of whiskey with some pretty girls and having a good time. I do remember one of my dear friends getting fucked over at the final table and feeling very sorry for her. Needed to win. So, but that's poker, right?
Wait, I gotta pour a drink for this one, kid. I got some whiskey here. I'm gonna try to fill this up.
You want me to join you? We can do this.
Yeah, you should. I feel like I need half of this thing of whiskey, to be honest with you right now. So
sure. Oh, come on. You're not going to mix it. Let's just go straight up.
No, I'm not a fucking professional drinker like you are, kid.
Oh, you're not a savage.
Don't be ashamed. All right, so your time in Vegas, do you play any poker still, or are you still playing live poker? Or are you one of those guys that's in $2 million of makeup, or what?
Nah, I've never been backed, really. Always played on my own. I played some tournaments this summer. I play cash games, not very high stakes, like 2-5, 5-10, just to get by. I got some other business ventures, etc. Made some bad decisions with money in my life. I used to have a shitload of money, not really anymore, but we still out here, still hood rich. Still not working for the man. Proud to not wake up at 6:30 a.m. and suck the world's dick every day, if you know what I'm saying.
For sure. So you still play live poker now to make money, and you got these other financial things that you do.
Yeah, but the feds are watching, so we can't talk about that, you know.
That's true. Shout to the feds. They already repossessed 2 Lamborghinis. We don't want to make it 3.
The story about the feds is apparently, like, you know, anyone who knows me knows I have a freaking absurd Twitter, you know, and I feel like I got to, like, live up to my Twitter rep. It's kind of hard to do because my Twitter is the greatest Twitter in the history of mankind. But basically, I walk into day one of the main event, and I was having some issues with an ex-girlfriend, and I thought it might be about that because she was, like, trying not to pay me, and she, like, was threatening to call the police on me. So I roll up to the fucking table, and they're like, Lou Frabel? I'm like, yeah, that's me, you know, like, what's going on? And they're like, FBI. And I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, why is the FBI here? So I'm like, is this about so-and-so? I don't want to get a lawsuit. And they were like, no, this is not about her at all. This is about something else. So they pull me aside. They bring me outside, and they're like, so, sir, people have been making threats against WSOP staff. Do you know anything about that? Do you have a Tor router? And I'm like, nah, man, I don't got no fucking Tor router. The Silk Road and all those, like, you know, the deep web. I don't even know. I've never been in there. I don't want to go in there. But really funny. It was this big black Fed who had a head the size of fucking, you know, a football player. And he's like, listen, son, you know, you into this? You into any of this crazy shit? Like, he didn't say it like that, but, you know, word for word. And I'm like, nothing to hide. You could take my phone. All you're going to find is some fine women and some pictures of my dick. I said that straight up to the FBI agent. And he starts laughing. He couldn't help himself. He's trying to say serious interviewing me. And I'm like, man, I don't even know who that is. They're like, have you ever, you know, threatened Seth Polanski? I'm like, who the fuck is Seth Polanski? I don't threaten people, man. You know, Poppy, you know what I'm saying? I don't threaten people. I just rant and rave a little, but I anyone on Twitter. So that was kind of funny. I got interviewed by the feds, so that's why I joke about the feds watching. Well, they respect my Twitter. I can't blame them, you know. My Twitter's pretty freaking good, you know.
What would you say your Twitter style is exactly? Yelling, being aggressive?
No, it varies day to day. I can get into different characters. Like, I could be emotional slayer. Like, I get emotional. I'm an emotional man. I thrive off my emotions. And sorry, I was laughing at the chat. Someone said, yo. That's pretty good. Yeah, when you got a dick like me, it's always GTO. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is, what was the question?
The question was, what would you say your Twitter style is like? Like,
well, you said, I like to call people out on their bullshit. And a lot of people, they don't like to be. No, that's not from my Twitter. Actually, that's a parody account of my Twitter created by someone else.
Hey, I tried telling Luke he's got to have the chat open for when my internet decides to fuck up, but don't look at the chat. So don't look. You look at the chat, but don't mention the chat.
Yeah, because they're reading my good friend Ben made a funny Twitter account based on some of my quotes that he gets directly from me. People out on their bullshit like Brian Hastings, Kara Scott, et cetera, Zoe Kareem, whoever the fuck is ranting about some bullshit on Twitter. I like to call them out. I don't like to let people, you know, just spew a bunch of nonsense, not have someone intelligent talk back to them. But, you know, a lot of people take shit way too serious that you post on Twitter. So people be telling me, oh, you're freaking out of your mind, which, you know, I've been known to, you know, do some recreational drugs here and there. And I've also been known to, you know, go on a rant crazy here and there. But I wouldn't say that everything on Twitter should be taken 100%. You might hurt yourself. You might hurt your head. I would just say that, you know, I'm a performer. I like to perform. I get the critical acclaim I deserve. I think it's a crime against humanity that I don't have 1 million followers. But, you know, we're getting there one podcast at a time. Follow me on Twitter, y'all.
You know what? We did a podcast yesterday with a man called Alexei Martov, and he said, you know, probably 5,000 times. I can't take you where you know. So I'm going to tell you that you say you know a lot, and then hopefully we can try to avoid the you knows, because he kept saying you know yesterday like 1,000 times. I was just like, fuck, man.
I'm not going to say it because you don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they knew, I wouldn't be right now. Sorry, I'm laughing at the chat again.
You gotta avoid the chat, kid. You might have to close the chat out, man.
Funny, I'm enjoying the chat. Matthew Layden is a real friggin' superstar.
If you had to watch 2 poker players fuck, who would it be?
That's one of my good tweets. I feel like a lot of my gold, just gets lost in the shuffle because I'm a binge tweeter. Like I'll go on like a 10 tweet, like I won't tweet for a few hours and then I'll just fucking lay into it like 10, 15 tweets in a row.
It's okay. It's the question. If you had to watch 2 poker players fuck, who would it be?
Well, it's a tough thing to say. Like, are we talking about for like, I don't watch porn, but I'm off porn for like a year, but like, are we talking like purely for my entertainment value, like for like to turn me on, or are we talking like 2 players that I'd like to watch fuck for like comedic purposes? Like I'd like to watch Zoe Kareem fuck anyone because that would just be hilarious. But as far as like sexually attractive people, I mean, I'll go with like, I don't know, Sam Abernathy. She's pretty fine. Who else is hot? I wanted to get more opinions. I got some funny answers like Howard Lederer and Andy Duke. Yeah, it's a tough question. That's why I posed it to the fans.
If you could, who's your poker crush right now? Who's the female in poker that you're really feeling a lot?
I mean, there's just so many. Like, I'm friends with Sam, so I wouldn't say she's a poker crush. She's like a really cool chick. I'm a big fan of hers. I'm like, I like to stand up to the, the people that be like talking shit about her just because she's a good-looking female and she's doing well. Poker crush. Just so many. I'm a big fan of Bonafide Anna on Twitter. She's dating my boy John, but yeah, she's crush on her. I like a lot of girls. I mean, I had a crush on Jamie Kerstetter for years just because of her sense of humor. She's my future ex-wife. Who else? I mean, there's just so many girls. Kate Hall. I don't even know who this chick is, but I watched her on your, podcast, and she's looking pretty sexy. And she's smart. I like a girl who's smart and attractive and check raises with nothing. Mm-hmm. And I've dated quite a few poker playing chicks. So I swear them off every couple weeks, you know what I mean? But then they all just come back to me,
But you've dated a few poker chicks.
Yes.
What do you think the probability is that me and you are Eskimo brothers?
I'd say it's about 100%. 99.9. 99.
Wait. Okay, when you say,
I mean, look at you, Joey. I mean, like, I'm freaking, I'm not built like you. I mean, I got a beautiful face, but I've also got. I mean, you were like, you're like Greek god status. Like, women see you, they're like, oh, give me some of that. You know what I mean? Like, stay away from my girlfriend, buddy. You know what I mean? Like,
definitely not. But it's okay. So when you say 100%.
I saw that selfie yesterday. Don't hate on yourself. Come on.
When you say 100%, are you speaking of fact 100%? Are you speaking of you assuming it's 100? Because it could be a literal fact 100%.
No, I think it's a literal fact. We won't name names, but I think it's.
What? Wait, who could it play? Who could it play? Who do you think?
I can't. I don't kiss and tell, man. I mean, I feel bad saying that. I just think that there's a really strong chance. I mean, who haven't you slept with, Joey? Like, you know what I mean?
Not that many people in the poker world.
Not that many? So what? Like under 10? Come on. Come
on.
Definitely
under 10.
All right, you like to get on the outskirts. You're not trying to get like the mainstream poker chicks because they got, they're way too fucked up, but you like to get on the outskirts, like maybe the report. I don't know. I don't know what your style is. I know you get the job done. So this is me giving you the bow because I know you got to go.
Would we consider the outskirts like the 2-5 live players, maybe people behind the scenes for companies?
Yeah.
Not like the actual.
Sure. Anyone who's affiliated with poker, tweets about poker, sex has been had. And I don't think it's a bad thing. Like, men and women have sex. Like, I don't see why it's like I don't like the whole thing where like a girl sleeps around and everybody talks shit. But like a dude like me or you, we get down and everyone's like, oh, he's the man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't buy into that. Like, if girls want to have sex, I'm all for it. which is like we could delve into this topic. We could really get deep if you know. I get it, you feel me? But
Well,
I don't know, man. Like, hold on, your audio just went out. I didn't hear you.
Oh, it's back. It's in now. My internet is gonna die very soon, so I'm gonna have to reconnect it when it does. When it dies, Luke's gonna handle the chat, and you guys can ask Luke anything you want. I'm in Germany right now. There's some Wi-Fi issues, and the video has been choppy all week. It's just not very stable, and I don't like it. So.
Yeah, you see my insecurity GTO over here, like we were talking, is a little bald spot. I need a little touch up. Ever since I shaved my head, though, the female attention has gone way up. Like I was trying to hold on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trying to hold on to the hair, but you know what? Sometimes you just gotta let it go. You feel me?
Sure. You said you dated a lot of women in poker. Who have you dated in poker?
Most recently I dated a girl. I really would not want to get into it. It's a sensitive subject, but she recently final tabled a World Series event. Montezanti, last name. She's a cool girl, I guess, if you're into that sort of thing. But fuck her. Anyways,
okay. Who else?
I dated a few others. I don't know. I really shouldn't go there. I would. Fuck you, Ashley. Anyways, God, I really like this chat. Yeah, I've gone down some roads. The thing is, I just can't resist a girl that at a poker table. It's just something about it. I love talking to them. I love, and they're all a little mentally deranged, which is what I'm all about. You know what I mean? My girlfriend right now, she's totally awesome. She's normal. It's like a complete change for me. I'm used to dating psychos. I married. Interesting story about me. Well, she was I don't like to label people by their occupations, but I married a Brazilian stripper when I was 24. I don't know why I did it. It was fucking crazy. But when I won $1 million on PokerStars, I was in Brazil at her house getting, bacon and eggs cooked, like American-style breakfast by her mother-in-law. Her mother-in-law was fine, too, by the way. Brazilian people, you are beautiful. If there's any of you watching, And she was a dope chick, but, it takes a certain mentality probably to be a stripper. So she was all about that. She was all about that money. I was kind of you're kind of capped out at a certain level. You're not going to make $1 billion or 500 million or, even 10 million really being a poker player. She wanted a richer guy and we just kind of fell out of it. And I left her for a poker chick because that's always been my weakness. And, that didn't go too well either.
Luke, what do you think about this idea, right?
All right, I'm with you.
What do you think about the idea that if you're a girl or a guy in poker, and because I guess this topic is very relevant to that. So obviously I asked you, you dated, and you're a little bit hesitant or you don't want to talk about it, which I think is pretty standard. But, what do you think about people who tell other people about those things? Like, let's say that you knew a girl or a guy and she was telling you things like that. What do you think about that?
What do you mean? You chopped out there. What'd you say at the end?
I said, what if you knew a girl and she what do you think about people that tell other people their sexual business, their history? Are you a big fan of that, or what do you think about that?
I think it's fine. If you sleep with someone and you tell them who you've slept with, I think that's good. If some girl was oh, I used to bang friggin', Aaron Massey, I'd be like, whoa, bitch, get away from me. I don't want to catch herpes. You know what I'm saying? But if somebody was telling me oh, I used to sleep with Joey Ingram, I'd be like, oh, okay. Yeah, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? It depends, I think everyone should be open and honest about things. I just don't feel like you have to broadcast it to the world. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like going out here and being telling you every woman I've ever slept with, which would be, we wouldn't even have time in this podcast to list them all.
So what did you say about Aaron Massey? I don't know much about him except I saw a photo of him wearing some sick cowboy hat one time. What did you say about him?
Is Joey gone? Okay, there you are.
I'm here. This, the issues there with internet. Did you hear what I said?
No, I didn't. What'd you say?
I said you said something about Aaron Massey. I don't know much about him. What did you say about him?
Well, I just think that huge fucking clown, and so are his quote unquote big cock poker t-shirt. The whole thing just makes me laugh. Like, listen, I used to be friends with this kid, and you know, his little cohorts or whatever. I call them because they're all under 5'7", and they think they're pimps or something. I don't fucking get it. Anyways, there was an issue where, you know, we were doing some recreational drug. Kareem took the liberty of putting that on Twitter. This is where my whole like Twitter. I don't know if anyone who's been following me knows that I've been like, you know, I've been on like a crusade, so to speak, 6 weeks or so, where I just kind of went ham on everyone. And it all started with Kareem putting my personal business out for people. He basically said, "Oh, Luke, you're a cokehead. You know, your ex-wife's a whore." And, you know, I don't play that shit. Like, if you do, like, that's some snitch shit. Like, you know, like, I don't snitch on anyone. I'm like from the camera on class. Like, even if my next door neighbor was friggin', you know, running fucking, you know, meth and like killing hookers in his house, I wouldn't fucking say shit, as long as, you know, I might move like camera. And, you know, don't go talking about my business on the internet. And then Aaron Massey took it upon himself to threaten me. He said, "If you lay a finger on Zoe, you're fucking gonna get it," basically, he said. So I took, you know, my liberties, and I told him that he was, you know, a little midget. And, you know, they didn't take too kindly to that. I'm not going to friggin' talk about, like, if I do drugs with someone, I'm not going to talk about it. Well, I guess I'm talking about it now, but fuck them. I'm not going to spread their friggin' business to the whole world. You know what I mean? Like, that ain't right. And Zoe actually called me the F word, which I won't even say. I'll say fuck, but I'm not going to say the F word because I love the gays. He called me a faggot, like, in front of fucking mad people this summer. And I'm like, Zoe, like, you're like 120 pounds. And he calls me a pussy. Like, dude, like I would let the man punch me 5 times because I know he couldn't I know he couldn't hurt me. And I'm not a fighter, you know what I mean? I didn't come to fight, but don't call me the F word, you know what I mean? Like, that's some freaking, like, straight high school BS. Like, I'm a tolerant person, you know? I don't drop that word on anyone. Like, I'm not going to say I've never said it, but, you know, I try to be more mature these days. I mean, I'm 30 fucking years old. I mean, I'm pretty immature. So, yeah, big cock poker. Like, they take pride in fucking girls off Tinder. Like, wow, way to go. That really takes a lot of friggin', you know, talent.
Is this what it's like in the tournament world? There's all these beefs. This doesn't happen in the cash game world, man. I don't know about any of these things.
Yeah, no, it's like high school. It's like high school. It's literally like high school. It's like I can't even describe the shit I saw this summer. It's like why? It's like I'm ashamed to even be like labeled as, you know, a tournament player or whatever because of the shit I see from these people. Like, they're all so. And, like, I'm not going to say that I was, like, some type of boss my whole life because I've had moments where I've been insecure or pretended to be someone I wasn't. But I just don't get why, like, people are so obsessed with, like, these cliques. Like, they run in these cliques where, like, no matter how scummy the person is or the stupid shit that they do, they just give them a free pass. And, like, I don't play that shit. You know what I mean? Like, Zoe, he's a fucking bitch. Like, let's be honest. Like, he's on Twitter all day ranting about, like, this and that and, like, trying to sound like he's some type of thug. I don't know if you follow this kid. I mean, I'm blocked by him. I'm blocked by the whole midget poker contingent. I
don't really know much about, honestly, about tournament players. Like, I know a couple of the guys, like that I had on the podcast, like Fedor and Pertush and, like, Timex and those guys. I don't really... Yeah, I've never been in the tournament world. I don't have many tournament player friends for the most part.
I'm a fanboy of Fedor's, but he kind of showered me this summer. I was trying to, like, go out with him, show him the road. He's a young German, you know, and I was like, listen, Fedor, like, you come out with me, I'll get you the best shit around here. And then when I'm out in Germany or Vienna, you're going to show me the ropes. And he just kind of ignored me. So I felt kind of big time by him, you know? Like, and I was crushing tournaments like him when he was friggin', you know, couldn't even get an erection. Me a little respect.
I'll have to talk to Fedor about that. And
Fedor that, you know, the Slay Dog wants to, you know, hang out with him. And me and Pratt, we have our issues on Twitter sometimes, but I like Pratt. I do. I like him a lot. He's just, you know, he's feeling himself. I'd be feeling myself too if I won, $10 million in the last couple of years or whatever the fuck he's won. Good for him. Like, way to go, Pratish. But you're not that awesome. You know what I mean? It's still just poker. That's what a lot of people don't realize is like, okay, like you like the standard, like, oh, like you're a has-been. And it's like, okay, yeah, maybe I am, but it's better to be a has-been than it never was, right? And I know I'm a fucking legend. And even if I never win another dollar in poker, you can't take away my Lamborghini. I got that shit hidden. So if the feds come for it, you ain't going to find it. You know what I mean? Oh, you know who I really fucking hate? I know, like, I'm just, like, improv now is Griffin Banger. You know Griffin Banger, right?
I know of him. I've talked to him a couple times, yeah.
He kind of, like, stuck his nose into some of my business. And I had to get in his face this summer. Sorrel was there. You probably know Sorrel. I'm a big fan of Sorrel. He's one of my all-time favorites. And basically, Griffin Banger has got to be one of the biggest fucking douchebags on the face of this earth. Like, poker or not, like, this kid, you can't even get me started on how much of a clown this is. He basically went on Twitter and he was like saying that like I abuse women or something. He knows my ex, blah, blah, blah. I said some shit like to her, like, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm some saint. Like I probably said some absurd shit to that bitch. But like, that's what happens when you have a tough breakup with someone. You know what I mean? And Griffin stuck his nose in my business. So I got in his face day one of the main event. And let me tell you, he was a little shook up. And I don't blame him, because people can talk a lot on Twitter, but I'm not a fighter and anything, but I'm gonna get in your face, and if you're like some chunky little Canadian kid with fucking hair plugs, I'm not gonna be shook at you. That's for sure. Like Joey, I would never talk my ass. You know what I'm saying? Like I choose my battles wisely. I'm not gonna talk shit to freaking Big Mike Dentale. You know what I mean? Like I'll talk shit to some chunky freaking kid with fake hair. You know what I'm saying?
I know you said you want to talk about people that you didn't like in poker. This is kind of interesting. Who else are you not a big fan of?
Oh, I mean, the list goes on. I mean, Brian Hastings with his fake tits.
All right, well, let's talk about Brian, because obviously Brian is one of my friends. So go ahead. What are your thoughts on Brian?
Okay, interesting. Like, but what has he ever cheated you in a cash game?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Right. So not that you're aware of. Exactly. Like, this is what I don't get is how you guys are all in the same circle. And like, I don't even know the kid personally. I just know that like, what he did and how he acts are like completely absurd. Like I've never seen someone so delusional to think he can go on rants about the scum of the poker world when he's one of the main problems. He did that whole thing with Isildur, which was like, I guess it was technically not cheating, but let's face it, he fucking scummed that nice Swedish man out of quite a bit of money. And then he did it again this summer. Fuck, I got to charge my laptop. He did it again this summer where he, we all know the story where he went on the Knoll, whatever the fuck, screen name, and he was scumming people. So, like, I actually, like, was a fan of his, and when I saw him winning the bracelets and all the bets, this was before the shit came out, I was like, look, man, I'm a fan of yours. Like, congratulations. And then I found out about all this shit, and I was like, man, what the fuck? You can't be doing shit like that when you're betting people in a game that, they don't even know if you're good at, and you're making prop bets for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you've been practicing these games on the internet at the highest levels, and people have no clue about that. Like, how is that right? You know what I'm saying? And
go ahead.
I saw him in Helmuth outside shooting hoops, and they had the basketball. They have the basketball court out there, and like whatever, All-American Dave thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
All right, so like they were doing their little prop bets, and everyone's sitting there like little sheep waiting for them to get done shooting. Phil throws up a jumper, misses that shit, and I grab the board, and I'm like, Mom, my turn to shoot, motherfucker, And they're like, hey, man, like, oh, like, we've been doing this all summer. We're prop betting. Give us the ball back. And I was like, fuck you, man. This is America, Like, there's only one basketball. So I took the ball, and it was my rock, you know what I mean? And they got all butthurt about it. And I was just like, sorry, dudes. Like, you know, the whole world doesn't stop, so you guys can do a little prop bet. And another thing about Brian is, you know, you got a lot more money than I ever did. At least the stripper that I married was a fucking dime. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I don't like to insult women's looks because I feel like that's sexist. But I'm not a Hastings fan. He wears T-shirts that my son wears. Anyways, let's move on. I don't have to spew pure hate to someone I hardly know. I just think it's absurd the way he carries himself and acts like he did nothing wrong. He should just admit that he fucked up and try to make amends. Because he's obviously like a big star in poker. He's way better at poker than I'll ever be. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm even half the player he is. But I just think he's a total asshole.
I think the way he might act on Twitter might be a little ridiculous, agree.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, as you said earlier, there's more to life than just poker. Obviously, I've known him for a long time. I've known him outside of poker. I've had a relationship.
I'd love to hear your perspective, honestly.
You know, I can understand. I don't necessarily think his girlfriend, I don't even know if she's a stripper before. I don't think she was. She's really cool, though. Like, I can understand people having these thoughts about her from, like, an outside perspective, but I think she's kind of cool.
She could be cool. I mean, my ex was a stripper. She was a really nice girl.
I guarantee you.
Rhino for a couple months. I mean, the Rhino, that's the best strip club in the friggin' world. Like, ain't no shit.
I guarantee if you hung out with her, you would think she's one of the coolest people you've met. I promise. You guys would have fun.
Oh, I'm sure we would. She would probably want to fuck me. But, you know, the point is he's an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely understand that viewpoint of things. And I'm sure if it was from the outside perspective and I didn't know him at all, I would probably think that I'm sure I'd have very similar thoughts as you do. But yeah, I don't think very badly of him. But I mean, I understand where he's coming from. Obviously, I think, you know, as you move up stakes, you know, it does become pretty bad. But you know, what am I supposed to say? Really, I can't really say anything too bad about him. He's helped me out. He's helped me out a lot in my life. So I can't.
Don't know the kid. Honestly, I don't know the kid. I really don't. I'm just going based off, you know, his behavior this summer, and you know, that's just my thing. And like, he blocks anyone on Twitter that tells him, "Hey, you were kind of a scumbag." You know, like, I think if people want to have I think that blocking on Twitter is some real amateur hour shit. On the other hand, I take pride on my block list. I'm probably blocked by 25 or 30 poker superstars. So I miss you guys. I miss trolling you.
Okay, so after Brian, who else did you mention on that? My internet's definitely, like, I'm looking at how much data I have left here on my Wi-Fi.
Well, let's go a cappella, you know? I'll go a cappella. Fuck a Papa Dot, fuck a Glock, fuck a trailer. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what about Stars Reg Problems? Do you know Stars Reg Problems? Do you used to be friends?
I don't know him, but he was a big fan of mine. He always looked up to me in the troll game, I guess, because, you know, I'm one of the greatest trolls. As Herolibus Vulgaris once said so eloquently, I'm one of the greatest trolls in the history of the internet. And I appreciate that, Herolibus. And I'm happy to be on your block list because I don't give a shit about your NBA perspectives because I know more about basketball than you. Just because you're a good bettor, fuck you. Not that he's watching, but what I'm trying to say is, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. But my point being that, who were we talking about?
Stars Reg Problems, SRP.
Oh, Stars Reg Problems, yes. I missed that dude. I honestly loved his Twitter account. I thought it was really solid. And I knew all along that it was fake. And, like, I knew who he was. Like, everyone else didn't know who he was. But I used to post on Pocket Fives, and there was this off-topic section. And his posts in there, he was known as Smoke Rock 24/7, which is a pretty hilarious screen name. Anyways, and he used to post in there. And, like, he always kind of idolized me because, like, I, like, was the only person who wasn't just like, oh, who the fuck is this weirdo? Like, why is he being such a douchebag? I actually respected his, because I could tell he was, like, semi-intelligent and, like, he loved poker. He was just a degenerate. And, you know, we miss you, Stars Reg, and I hope you're watching.
Shout out to you, SRP.
You know he's watching. Come on, SRP. Come back, you know? So you scummed some guy out of 20,000. There's people that have done way worse, and everyone in poker still loves them. You know what I mean? All you got to do is go win a bracelet, and everyone will forget that you're a scumbag. Like, that's how the poker world generally works. Like, they all run in these crowds with these scum fucks. And, like, I'm the bad guy because I call people out and I, you know, pretended to be a shit on the internet. 10 years ago.
Oh my gosh!
Like I got people call me like there was this shit with Lindgren. I don't know if you know about me completely going freaking nuts on Lindgren when he was at the final table of the Millionaire Maker. And I don't even care that Lindgren, scummed all those people. What I really care about is that he called a clock on me. I played the 25K 6 max. Don't ask me why. I'm sure I was dead money in it. But over that summer, I had 4 cashes in all the 6 maxes. Like I got like 11th in the 2500, 25th in the 5K. I know, total brags. I barely turned a profit. But the point is, I was in the 25K. It was like a big fucking deal for me. You know what I mean? Huge deal. There's a funny poker news update about it. And E-Dog sits down at the table. He shows up late. He's all cocky because he just won a bracelet, even though he owes like $10 million to everyone in the room. He just big timed me. He called a clock on me after like 75 seconds on the turn, like level 1 of the fucking tournament. And it's like, if it was Phil Ivey, you think he would have called that clock? You know what I mean? And whatever. I folded my hand and I was just like, what's your freaking problem, dude? You're a dickhead. And I fired out some tweet where I was like, if I owed half the room money, I would keep my effing mouth shut. You know what I mean? And then I said something like some Slayer reference where I easy myself, because I love myself. But, and then Negreanu got wind of the tweet, and D-Negs, another one of my least favorite poker players, decided to stick his nose into my business. And he was like, that's a pretty mean tweet you sent out. And there was some back and forth, blah, 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 little beef. The floor got called. He made fun of my live results. I made fun of his, debts to the IRS, et cetera, et cetera. And the culmination was a great moment where Joe Cada put him all in on the turn in the biggest pot of the tournament for him. And I called the clock on him. And he flipped the fuck out. And so we've had beef ever since.
Jesus Christ.
I called the clock on him like it was the most fucked up clock you could ever call, but it was like a revenge clock. Like I would never do that under normal circumstances, you know what I mean? But he had it coming because he big timed me. And I'm not going to get big time by anyone, be it Negreanu, especially not in poker. Like if some professional athlete, if Kevin Durant big times me, I'll take it like a man. I'll be like, bow down, it's Kevin fucking Durant. But like you're Daniel Negreanu, like who gives a shit? Like, whatever. Yeah, Negreanu, that's another guy that I freaking just can't stand. I just can't stand his whole freaking, his whole freaking act. Like he puts on this nice guy act, but he's totally a self-serving douchebag. Anyone with a brain could tell.
Who do you like in poker?
Who do I like? I'll tell you who I like. I like you. I also like Paul G's. Paul G's is my original poker hero.
I like him too.
Although I think I've been around longer than Paul. But, he's obviously surpassed me in ability. Doesn't take much. A lot of these people have. But Paul G's is one of my poker heroes. Let's see. Who else do I like? Basically any of my Twitter people. I love Asher. Asher's cool as fuck.
Asher is pretty cool. I like him too.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. I'm a big fan of all women players pretty much, especially the hot ones.
Of course you are.
Yeah, well, who isn't? Let's see. Who are my other favorite players? I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank because there's so much hate clouding my judgment right now.
Let's let's try to get you in a positive mindset.
Yeah, no, let's go positive. I'm a big fan of my friend Adam Bicker. I don't know. A lot of people don't know him. He's a great cash player. Alti AA. He won the Seminole Hard Rock event at WPT earlier this year. He's a really good cash and tournament player that a lot of people don't know. Brian Altman. Mm-hmm. I'm a big fan of. As far as name pros, I'd say I hate every full tilt poker pro ever because they all made millions off our freaking sweat and blood. You know what I mean? I hate everyone who's ever been affiliated with full tilt. I pretty much hate. So none of them. Trying to think of big name pros that I like. Not many. I like Kachalov. Kachalov does it for me. I'm a big fan of Martin Jacobson, who just won the main event. I've always looked up to him. Sorrell is one of my all-time favorite players. I think he's not the type that makes excuses for the bullshit he pulled in the past. He just tries to be a better person going forward. And I dig it, you know what I mean? I like people who can own up to the shit that they've done. And me, I'm not a saint. I'm not going to sit here and say I've never done anything fucked up, but I'll own up to anything I've ever done. And I'm not going to sit here and try to justify my behavior. I know that I've done some fucked up shit in my life, and
are you a fan of the poker media side?
What'd you say?
Are you a fan of anyone that's in the poker media? Maybe that works for any of this websites, Card Player, Poker News, anything like that?
You know, I don't know many poker media people, but I like Drew Amato, the photographer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You know, Tatiana Pazalik. I'm a big fan of hers. But who isn't? Tatiana. She did an interview with me this summer, though. She let me down, baby. My girl Tatiana let me down. I did a freaking hilarious interview with her about me screwing cougars to pay my buy-ins. And
is that
she
true?
didn't post it anyway.
Is that true?
She didn't post it. Yeah, no, well, of course it's true, but I mean, it depends on your definition of true. You know what I mean? Like, I do the cougar screwing for free, you know.
Well, let me show some love to the chat right now. We got Andrea Thomas out there, a mutual friend of ours. She says, "Luke, you're the greatest of all time."
Thank you, Drea. You're a sweet girl.
What a sweet.
If I'm so great, why haven't you come hung out with me in Philly yet, honey?
Yeah, why isn't she hung out with you in Philly yet, Luke?
That's a good question. I'd have to ask her.
It's a great question, man. That's a great question. Who we got? My boy Life's a Grind out there. What's up, puppy? Hola, coramosa, amigos. What's up, amigos? Puppy. Mads, what's up, Mads? Let me see what else we got.
Oh, I like Elkie, too. I just saw his comment. I'm a big Elkie fan, too. I think Elkie's hilarious.
Big Elkie fan. Oh, let's see what we got out here. Let's see what we got. Alex, what's up, Alex? Puppy. Hassan, what's up, Hassan? Hola, coramosa. Let's see. B-Trip. Ron, what's up, Ron? Hassan said, I love Joey taking the high road, diplomatic route. I'm not taking the high road on anything. Luke, ask me any question. I'm not going to take the high road on it. Go ahead, ask me a question.
Yeah, don't hate on Joey. Come on. Joey speaks his mind. Like, you know, like I wasn't sure about Joey when I first met him. And, you know, I wasn't sure about his whole, you know, GTO, blah, 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 you know, I'm a pimp type of thing. But I've seen him in action, and God bless the man. You know what I mean? He does his thing. And he
what are you talking about? What do you mean seeing me in action? What does that mean?
I just see the way women look at you and talk about you, and, you know, he gets the job done, my friend. He's not all talk. That's all I'm going to say. He's not all talk.
Listen, if somebody thinks it's all talk, I mean, come on, let's get real. But yeah, that's
look at that face. Look at those shoulder dimples. They don't lie. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I got to bring you out with me more often, kid. I mean, you're a little bit crazy, but
no, look, I'm actually, you know, I'm like, you know, I'm just like this when I go out, and people are either really attracted to it or they're not. As far as women go, like, I'm not scared to talk to any girl, you know? Like, I know that, like, you know, like, there's no point in being scared of rejection. You know what I mean? Like, when I was younger, I used to think that I had to pretend to be somebody else. And, like, I realized that the type of women I attracted when I pretended to be someone I'm not was the wrong type of women. The type of women that go after money and, you know, when you act like yourself, you know, get the type that you're looking for because they know you for you. Like the girl I'm dating now, she's way out of my league, you know, beautiful girl, med student. And I've told her all the messed up shit about my life, how I used to womanize, how I used to, you know, do like crazy amounts of drugs and blow crazy amounts of money playing craps, investing in people, you know, whatever other activities that we don't really need to get into on the podcast. And I just, because like the girl I dated before, the poker girl, she was big on like telling me how horrible I was for the shit that I used to do. And I tried to be someone I wasn't to please her. And I realized that fuck that. I'm never going to do that again in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Did you read a book to learn this stuff? Because a book that one of my favorite books sort of says this stuff. It's basically it's I guess it says better. I don't know if better is the word, but to be yourself, and sort of the people that accept you for that are the people that you really want in your life. And when you're putting on a front, acting like someone else, you're going to attract the wrong kind of people. And it's just basically that you be honest with yourself, you be honest with other people, and that way you'll find someone who actually likes you, and it's just easier, and it's sort of like a better way to be.
I did not. I did not read the book. I came to these conclusions all by myself.
Mm-hmm.
But that book sounds dead on. Although, one of my favorite tweets that I sent out recently was, just be yourself is horrible advice, because if you're a piece of shit, you should be somebody else. Right? Am I right or am I right?
Yeah, sure. I guess. Yeah, I don't think about it very often, but
Like, if you're a piece of shit, don't be yourself. Like, try and change up. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kareem, he should stop being himself because he's a total piece of fucking excrement. You know what I mean? Like, he should just try and be more like me because, like, I'm awesome. Anyways.
So you mentioned you have a girlfriend now. Is this a serious relationship? You said she doesn't play poker, but you said she's accepting, and then you said she's out of your league.
No, no one's out of my league. I shouldn't say out of my league. On paper, though, probably. You know what I mean? Like, I think she's like hesitant. Like she feels me on like a spiritual, physical, and every level, but she's not sure. Like maybe that her like people would accept like this crazy lunatic that she's dating. But she's all about it. You know what I mean? Like she's probably used to dating more conventional types, and then she gets like this passionate lover, you know, like boss ass motherfucker like me, and she's like, wow, like I've been wasting my time with these clowns. You know what I'm saying?
What makes you such a passionate lover, kid? What do you do well that other people aren't doing well?
It's not really about, well, I mean, I was also blessed with the perfect penis, but that's besides the point. What I'm trying, oh man, I'm going to get in trouble for this shit if she watches. But anyways, what I'm saying is, like, I just really, like, when I get into a girl, I'm not like, I don't pursue girls. I know this sounds like some bullshit that I'm saying to get women to, like, feel me or something, but I don't pursue girls just for sex. Like, I go out and get laid and it's whatever. Like, but when I'm with a girl, I like to have sex with them and it be like good for both of us. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of like douchey guys make the joke like, oh, like I don't care if the girl gets off as long as I do. Me, like the thing that I get from sex, when I make a girl like really get into it and like she's feeling me, I know that it's going to be great going forward because she's really going to want it. You know what I mean? Like I like to be, I have no inhibitions, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not some type of sexual deviant though. Like I kind of used to be. Like I used to cheat on girls. I used to fuck with a lot of girls and like pursue them simply for sex. But I think that like sex with a girl one night and then you never have sex with them again, it ain't gonna be all that, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Like
I like to really get in there and see what they like, see what I like. And then everybody can freaking have a freaking party. You know what I mean?
So if you had to give some tips out there to some guys, maybe they're not pleasing their woman in the bed, maybe they can't, maybe there's something they're not doing right. What advice, couple things would you give them? Because I know a lot of guys out there, you know, poker players, they might not be the most GTO when it comes to some sort of better relationship.
Well, see, the thing is, firstly, you have to stop feeling like you're entitled to sex. Like a lot of men, they get some money, you know, they take a girl out on a date, and then they think, okay, now we're going to go have sex. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to do nothing because I bought this chick dinner, whatever. I don't think a lot of men are entitled to feel like they're entitled to pussy because they pay for a dinner or they, you know, put on a good show or a performance or whatever the fuck. And I think the first thing you should do is always be grateful. Like me, every time I'm with a girl, I'm freaking grateful. You know what I mean? I'm like, thank you for blessing me with this wonderful experience because I freaking love sex. Also, you know, be a giver as a receiver. Don't expect to like for a girl to go down on you if you're not going to go down on her. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that like shit, I don't know what I'm doing down there, but it's the effort that counts. You know what I mean? And if you just ask a girl what she likes or what she's into, be it some freaky shit or some regular shit, you're going to be way better off than if you just like get it in there, bang, 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 and you come and then it's over. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like F all that. What's the fun in that? You know what I mean? I want to do it all night. Like if I get with a girl, I want her to be 3-4 times we're doing it. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be like, oh, we have sex and then I pass out drunk, wake up and leave in the morning. Peace, later. Like that doesn't make you a boss. You know what I mean? Like screwing some chick and then being an asshole to her after. That's nothing. That's not an accomplishment in my opinion. But maybe
I'm ready to have sex with you right now, buddy. After you talk to me like that.
Thanks, Joe.
Right. Kid, lay me down, son. Show me what's going on here.
I'll tell you, he's freaking better looking than a lot of the girls that I've fucking seen out here. Anyways.
Wait, you said you live in Philadelphia, right?
Well, I don't live in Philly. I'm living there now. My girl lives out here. You know, I'm making the effort, trying to, you know, take it to that next level or whatever.
How did you meet your girl?
We met actually a year ago at Murmur Monday, and it's funny because it was the only time either of us have ever gone to. But they have a nightclub there, Murmur Monday, and I met her and I was like trying to get with her like on the dance floor. She wasn't having it, but I could tell she was a dope chick, so I waited outside the club for her to come out. You know, which is a little stalkerish, whatever. But you know, I really liked her. And I was like, hey, like, you want to go play some blackjack? You know, I wasn't like, oh, let's go back to my room, baby, you know, because that's some weak shit. And she's like, no, I don't want to. I'm with my girls, you know. And I was like, all right, well, let me get your number, your Facebook, whatever. And she gave me her Facebook, despite like what was probably like a bad idea, but and we started talking. And I started dating the poker girl like exclusively for a year, and like the girl was super possessive, and she was like, all right, you got to delete this chick, because she knew that I was into her. And I was like, all right, I'll delete her, because for some reason I let this girl control my life, which I'll never understand. But you can't go back in time and dwell, which I do often, which is one of my weaknesses. But when I was parting ways with her, she said, I'll keep my options open. Because I told her, like, look, I'm dating this girl. I'm crazy about her. She's a little insane, but, you know, she wants me to stop talking to you. And she said, I'll keep my options open. So I knew she was feeling me, you know what I mean? So when I broke up with my ex, I started talking to her again on, you know, Facebook, etc., and we just hit it off, and you know, it's been a romance ever since. It's been about 4 or 5 months of straight up romance. Are you gone, Joseph? Did we lose Joey? Hello? Anybody home? Well, now it's the Slay Dog podcast. Anyone want to ask me some questions? Shoot. Is anyone watching this even? Am I still on? Am I still on, everyone? Ashley, are you a woman? What color hair you got? Yes, I've gotten quite a few death threats. Yes, many for my tweets. I got, you know, I think I set the record this summer for most death threats. I got a couple from some actual people that were kind of scary, so I had to knife up, you know what I mean? I had to take the blade with me everywhere I went. Any other questions? I'd say that like most people in poker take themselves entirely too seriously. Like I say some shit on Twitter and someone wants to fight me. It's like, grow the fuck up. Like this kid T-May. Does anyone know who T-May is? Oh man, that kid is the biggest fucking clown. Oh, Darren Rabinowitz. Oh, it's good to see Darren. Darren, how are you? How's your Kia? You still driving that thing, you freaking broke-ass little bitch? Darren, have you told anyone that their family should die because you took a bad beat in poker lately? I don't know Jungle, but I would assume that he's like, you know, pretty friggin' funny guy. I can't do a Jungle impression. Sorry. Darren Rabinowitz. Oh my god. This kid, Darren Rabinowitz, might be the biggest clown. He might be a bigger clown than Kareem. It's close, though. Like, he has anxiety attacks, literally. He literally has anxiety attacks playing poker, and he talks shit to me. I told him to hit the showers after he busted the fucking main, and he just couldn't handle it.
Are you talking about Jungle Man?
No, I'm talking about Darren Rabinowitz.
Oh, okay.
Total pussy. Anyways.
All right, Luke, we're gonna actually wrap it up. Since I don't know how to fix my internet here. Like I'm out of juice on my internet here in Germany. We're gonna come back. We're gonna come back next week. We're gonna get into a part 2, and we're gonna get some more.
All right. Well, this was fun, and fuck you to Darren Rabbi and any of you other haters.
Everybody in the
Joey,
chat.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. It was fun. What'd you say?
Can't wait. I said I can't wait till next week. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. We're gonna have you next week, or we might have you this weekend. I'm gonna get my GTO figured out here in Germany.
Yeah, we didn't even get to talk about these Florida people.
What's up?
We didn't even get to talk about these Florida clowns or sexism in poker. So I hope we can touch on that next week.
We will definitely touch on that, Poppy. We'll be we're gonna touch on that for sure.
I'll see you then.
Thanks for tuning in, Ashley, Andreas, Life's a Grind, Hassan, Andrea. Shout out to you. Stop telling people shit. That's what's up. Out of here. Peace out. Much love. Later.